Les explico el contexto. Se supone que este video es un nuevo video del señor Gigguk. Ustedes saben, el todopoderoso señor que simpea a las VTubers, que hace videos meme de Fate. La cosa es que ha subido este video, que yo no lo he visto todavía, pero según Andraxos y mucha gente me ha comentado que está súper bueno, que es un stream, bueno, es un video explicando la franquicia de Fate entera en 30 minutos. Lo quería ver con ustedes el día de hoy. Más o menos qué tal estaba. No sé si tiene traducción, los subtítulos están funcionando. Vamos a ver subtítulos, inglés genérico, traducción automática. A ver, qué tan bien están los subtítulos en español. Y ya está. Tiene memes, pero no es meme. A ver, vamos a ver.
This video is sponsored by Honkai Impact 3rd. Gamers, gacha gamers. You know me, I love my 2D girls, and Honkai Impact 3rd has the cream of the crop. A free-to-play 3D action role-playing mobile game developed and published by miHoYo, the same makers of Genshin Impact, which, speaking of which, they're having a collaboration event right now. Official will be joining as a new Valkyrie with
Gigguk está comprado.
Kaching, where you can free more powerful forces for Kaching to fight against the enemy, which includes the more powerful the Wolf of the North in this world. And, most amazingly, both of these characters are completely free. Sorry, what does this word mean? I've never heard this word before as a gacha gamer. You players who join the game now can win over 100 free supply cards by completing missions, and can even enter a sweepstake to win a big mystery prize. And also from July 12th to August 12th, Honkai Impact 3rd will be collaborating with bubble tea brand Kung Fu Tea in the US and Canada. So you can join the event for a chance to win limited merch and an iPhone 12. So, what are you waiting for? Download Honkai Impact 3rd today and join the events to win some great prizes. Links and info in the description below. And with that said, let's get on with the video.
The Fate series is one of the most expansive franchises in all of anime. In between all the games, anime, manga, light novel, visual novels, spin-offs, it's probably one of the most daunting franchises for any newbie to try to get into. A little while ago, I made a joke skit called Trying to Understand the Fate franchise, based around how confusing the entire thing looks for an outsider looking in. And
no me gusta, no sé ustedes, pero está horrible los subtítulos en español. Vamos a dejarlo en inglés.
Satire aside, it was based on many real-life conversations I've actually had with Fate fans trying to explain the franchise to newcomers. And every time that happens, I always hear, do you want the long version or do you want the short version? Everyone asks for the short version, but even the short version for an outsider can seem like a convoluted mess of information. I thought you were going to give me the short version. This is the short version. But ever since I made that video, because no one ever actually asked for it, I've always wondered to myself, what is the long version?
Oh no. Oh no.
The Fate franchise fascinates me. Originally created by Kinoku Nasu, what started as just a single eroge visual novel has turned into a multi-billion-dollar franchise with more media than any sane person can wrap their head around. I mean, just look at all this shit. Can you see how many there is?
Es cierto. Fate Zero, Carnival Phantasm, Fate Extra, Fate Zero, Fate Prototype, Fate Kale Liner Prisma Ilia, Fate Apocrypha, Fate Extra CCC, Horror Ataraxia, Fate Prototype, Fragment of Sky Silver, Fate Kale Liner Ilia Prisma Ilia, Fate Extra CCC, Foxtail, Fate Kale Liner Ilia Prisma 2-Way, Prototype Drama CD, Unlimited Blade Wars, Lair with
There's at least 5, so it can be easy to forget how and why people became fans in the first place, that many newcomers may even forget.
Muchachos, ¿por qué estamos en esta mierda?
Ask, what is Fate even about? Don't worry, I got you. The basic premise revolves around a bunch of mages who can summon heroic spirits from Earth's real history or legends to do battle over the Holy Grail, a mythical wish-granting device in what is called the Holy Grail War.
Basically, it's a bunch of mages spending all their V-Bucks to organize the ultimate Fortnite, Apex Legend, fucking Minecraft, Hunger Games, Battle Royale between all your favorite people from history and legend to create the ultimate showdown of ultimate destiny.
¿Verdad? Fate es un Fortnite.
And the Holy Grail War is just basically Nasu going, wow! That just kind end the video.
Hasta él se
That's all you
ríe.
need to know about Fate.
However, the background and lore of the entire Fate universe is unimaginably deeper than that. So much so that every single spin-off, anime, manga, novel, every single piece of Fate's media takes place in a coherent universe fitting somewhere on a grand timeline, which is also shared with Nasu's other works, creating this grand universe known only as the Nasuverse.
So you know what I thought would be a good idea? What if I tried explaining the entire Fate timeline? The word being thought, implying it was me in the past tense. It was shit.
Explaining all the Fate lore and timeline in detail would take hours and hours. I mean, just look at some of these wiki pages. This isn't a wiki page, it's a fucking light novel. Same with it. That's
Nunca me había puesto a pensar que la wiki es una live. Es una live novel, güey.
time some slag upon threw a sword at me and I accidentally became the fucking king of England.
So this is more like the long, short version. Or is it the short, long version? Or is it the medium version? It's an excuse to justify all the countless hours I've put into this hellhole. Obviously, there is going to be spoilers, but I'm going to try and keep it focused on the lore and universe and where every series fits in the timeline, rather than what actually happens in any individual series. So, hopefully it won't spoil your experience too much if you decide to walk into hell with us. So, with that said, let's
Would you like to
start
walk in the
explaining
hell with us?
all of Fate. It's not too late now, Gohan. All we have to do is just turn the camera off and delete the file and no one will ever have to know.
Esto se lo está diciendo su yo del pasado, ¿no?
Explaining all of Fate.
No quieres hacer esto, es todavía no es demasiado tarde. Apaga la cámara y deletea todo esto.
You see that, Gigguk? That was Gigguk 3 months ago. I've been putting off filming this for 3 fucking months. Just kill me now.
3 meses. 3 meses. Wow. Mis respetos para pasar 3 meses haciendo un video. Aprende, Haseo. Aprende. Aprende cómo se hace un video. Yo intentando hacer el video de las magias de Fate. Pues prácticamente ya voy 2 meses. Sí, más o menos.
Oh, 3 fucking months. This is my dissertation all over again. Hello and welcome to my TED Talk. To be introducing the Fate timeline, I'm going to be cosplaying the most powerful servant in the history of the Fate timeline. Steve Handjobs. But before we get to the
Steven Jobs.
there are a few core concepts we need to bang out first so everything makes sense. Firstly is Akasha. See, Fate exists in this grand world of magic and mages.
¿Cómo no está Sekier acá?
Heroic beings from the past, present and future. And all
Lo que
this
se va a perder.
derives from Akasha. What is Akasha? See, Akasha is this metaphysical place that exists outside of time and dimensions, that is the source of all events and all the souls in all timelines. And I like using big words to make me sound smart. Basically, everything that's ever happened and everyone you know, you can thank Akasha for it. 2020 as a whole? Thanks, Akasha.
Akasha.
The Chad himself, Chub Jug's Fortnite remix. Thanks, Akasha. The one time in class you thought you had a silent fart, but you ripped out a fat one and everyone heard it and stared at you, and your brain still reminds you about it every time you're about to sleep. Fuck you, Akasha. So
O sea, hay un multiverso donde todos son células de Hashirama, pero en nuestro universo es todo Akasha.
instead of wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff, this is more like wibbly wobbly, timey wimey, goopy galaxy, diddly dimension, rickety reality stuff. Where every timeline and every reality exists at the same time, meaning there are no spin-offs, every fate is canon, life is alive, yes, that smutty dojin of Minamoto going ada ada on the order is some timeline. You can't prove me otherwise. Are you with me? Good. This is important because the end goal of every mage in the Fate universe is to find a way to reach the root of Akasha. But Gigguk, why do all mages want to find the root of Akasha? Well, I'm glad you asked, probably confused viewer.
Eso...
I really hope you're not confused right now. This is just the beginning.
Estoy seguro que... Qué bueno es saber de la franquicia de Fate. Para no estar... Pucha, si esto... Este video se supone que es una explicación para los nuevos, para los novatos. Pobrecitos de ellos.
Time to talk about the magic system that exists in the Nasuverse, because as we all know, in this universe, mages exist and use magecraft, aka magic, right?
No.
Wrong!
Ey, eso lo vimos, ¿se acuerdan? Las True Magic son diferentes al Magecraft. Esto es como un examen para ustedes, a ver si estuvieron en los directos, en los domingos del Nasuverso.
Correct. Erroneous. Mistaken. I can't think of any more words off the top of my head. What are you, an idiot? Why would anyone assume that magic and magecraft are the same thing? Look at this guy. Typical man that can't tell the difference between magic and magecraft. No. You got magecraft, the weak sauce imitation butter. Ooh, I can't believe it's not magic. And then you got the Chad.
La Magic, sí.
This is the top tier gourmet shit. This is the shit real mages want to use. The kind of shit Gordon Ramsay has to taste up and goes, finally, magic. But this premium shit can only be achieved by mages who view Akasha. And once someone gets that magic, that path to Akasha is cut off, and then the magic can only be used by the direct descendants of that original mage. Basically, no one has real magic, and they're trying to get to the root of Akasha so they can stop using the peasant dollar store magecraft shit. Oh man, what if the third magic was just the power to create fake porn? But what's stopping?
What? Akasha so they can stop using that.
What if the third magic was just the power to create fake porn?
No lo había pensado de esa forma. Claro, la tercera magia se puede utilizar para... ¡Claro! ¡Oh! El día de hoy he tenido una revelación. No lo voy a explicar. Si ustedes lo entendieron, lo entendieron. Pero vaya, qué interesante. Ahora sé cómo se puede aplicar la tercera magia.
But what's stopping all mages from getting to this mythical place called Akasha? Well, you have this thing called the counterforce. This is kind of like a safety mechanism that stops the blood from going extinct because the Earth is actually alive and has a will, and don't worry about that right now. And the counterforce itself is made up of two parts. The collective unconscious will of humanity itself to survive, Alaya, and the will of the planet itself, Gaia, online. Why is this important?
Gaia Online.
The counterforce has powerful defense mechanisms, like being able to summon heroic spirits from Earth's history in order to defend itself, which we call servants. Sound familiar?
I understood that reference.
So it'll intervene anyone trying to get to Akasha, aka the Goopy Galaxy timey-wimey place, and mages have to find a way around it. Are you with me? Are you with me? Good. If you're already confused, may I introduce to you the phrase everyone in the Fate fandom holds in the highest esteem as the holiest words in our gospel. Don't worry about it. Why is the cast of Fate Stay Night sharing a nice wholesome meal instead of trying to brutally murder each other? Don't worry about it. How do reality bubbles work?
Don't worry about it.
What is the moon?
Don't worry about it.
No, please don't worry about it. Please don't ask me what the moon is. I'm not gonna fucking talk about the moon!
No pregunten sobre la luna. Crimson Moon. Ustedes me entienden, ¿no?
Have Akasha, the timey-wimey, goofy galaxy, rickety reality place that every mage is trying to get to.
¿Quieres que lo explique? No te pierdas los domingos de teorías del Nasuverso. Que nos volamos la cabeza de manera gratis. Y nos volvemos unos... Sí, es divertido. Muy divertido. Tremendamente divertido. Tan divertido que todavía debo 3 videos. Continuemos.
So they can use the top-tier gourmet true magic. But the only thing stopping them is the counterforce, which they have to try and find a way around. Did you get all that? This is all the background information you need to know. Before we start the timeline. Jesus Christ, we haven't even started the timeline yet. You know, originally I wanted to visualize the timeline physically by having things stuck against the wall strung together.
Es domingo, pero no es domingo en Nasuverso. Hay una gran diferencia.
With a string or something like that, like you see in that Always Sunny meme. But then I soon realized I don't have a wall big enough. So that's why I'm using the green screen. Definitely not because I want to rip off Nakey Jakey. Now starting right.
Debo empezar a tener una de esas cosas.
Physically by having things stuck against the wall strung together with a string or something like that, like you see in that Always Sunny meme. But then I soon realized I don't have a wall big enough. So that's why I'm using the green.
Necesito una de estas cosas. Ya es momento de digievolucionar y ponerme un... No, luego me van a pedir que haga poses con la machoseo, no mejor.
Definitely not because I want to rip off Nakey Jakey. Now starting right at the beginning, before any mages, before any servants, before any Holy Grail wars, you have the Age of God. So yeah, apparently right at the beginning of Fate lore, there was this period of time where gods roamed the earth with land, physical creatures existed, and I shit you not, physics apparently just wasn't a thing. Yeah, apparently this thing called mystery governed the law of the world, which I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Don't worry about it. Like, I just imagine in my head some ancient humans trying to let go of an apple and physics tries to drop it and mystery's like, no, 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 no. We do not do that here. And then the apple just flies off to fucking Narnia. But everything changed when the Zephyr Nation attacked. Or just Zephyr. This next time period is called Deterioration. This titan called Zephyr invaded and destroyed most of the world.
Ya, esto debe ser de Fate. Fate Extra, ¿no? Acá sí me agarraron.
By this mighty sword called Excalibur. After the attack, the gods weaken a bit, mystery starts to wane, and physics is like, yo, is anyone gonna drop that apple? Which takes us to separation. So the gods are a little pissed that they can't go down to Earth anymore because they're so weak, so they make Gilgamesh, who's 2/3 god. Because gods don't give a shit about maths, apparently, with the intention of making him the keystone to connect the gods and the humans. Now, for anyone not familiar with the Fate verse, how can I explain Gilgamesh? You know that one meme, is this some peasant joke I'm too poor to understand? Well, imagine if that meme was reincarnated as a person. That's Gilgamesh. So yeah, he decides to rebel and the gods were like, no. This guy? This guy doesn't want to take orders from us? No, come on, you're joshing us right now. This is a prank. Come on, where are the hidden cameras? I'm on MTV Pumped, aren't I? And so with that, the gods cannot interfere with humans anymore. And thus begins the Age of Man. From the year 0 AD, the human...
A ver.
And thus begins the Age of Man. From the year...
De acá yo conozco, claro, Separation. Yo conozco toda la era de Gilgamesh, lo que pasó, la Age of Man, pero Deterioration no lo conozco. Eso tengo que verme Fate Extra para entender.
0 AD, the human population explodes, magic and magecraft is replaced with science, and most importantly, physics exists now, guys! Yeah!
Yay!
I was meant to buy a party popper, but I completely forgot to. Alan, you edit a party
Me da
popper.
risa, el Gigguk es lo máximo.
Thank you. That's right, screw your mystery. I have E equals MC squared. Okay, remember right at the beginning of this video when I said the Fate franchise was about this thing called the Holy Grail? Well, we can finally start talking about the Holy Grail. See, the Grail is touted as this omnipotent, magical, wish-granting device, and that's only partially true. See, around the 1800s, these epic magic gamer girls, called the Einsworth,
Gamer girls,
figured out a way to the root of Akasha, that place that gives you true epic gamer magic, by using the Holy Grail to summon 7 heroic spirits and then sacrifice them, and using that mana to summon an even greater Grail called the Greater Grail, which has access to the root of Akasha. But of course, all the various magic gamer girls and boys couldn't agree on who would actually get access to this magic, so they decided to have a meeting to decide. One could even say that it was a magic. The Gathering. Or in Fate, we just call this the Holy Grail.
The Holy
which
Grail.
finally leads us to the timelines to all the wars so far. Oh, I can't believe I flunked world history and I'm about to recite the entire history of some fictional war that happened. Okay, so you got like the first Holy Grail War, which happened around the 1800s. This is when the 3 main mage families, the Einsworths, the Toesuckers, and the Matos, couldn't agree on who could get access to the Grail. So they were like, guys, we've got a bunch of servants lying about. Tournament up, tournament up, tournament up, tournament up. This was hardly what you'd call an actual war, though, and more like a 3 AM brawl at the local mage pub, which ended because everyone got bored and time ran out. Then came the second Holy Grail War in the 1860s with the same parties involved, but this time everyone went a bit fucking mental because everyone died, nobody won, and future generations were like, wait a minute. Do we need rules? What the fuck is a Geneva Convention? Then came the third Holy Grail War in the 1930s, where the church gets involved because they're just like, are you using the term Holy Grail? God, are we allowed to copy strike that? And everyone's happy with that because they can enforce the rules. So the church is like, alright gamers, I want a fair fight, no going for the eyes, no kicking below the belt, and for God's sake, no summoning any illegal servants. So then the Einsworth summon an illegal servant. So they get this totally new
¡Qué buena!
servant called Angramayu, aka the Angry Mango, who's meant to be this super badass, ultra OP new servant that auto wins them the war, except lol JK is actually super weak and dies and is literally so angry he gives the Grail food poisoning. Then we got the fourth Holy Grail War, which is basically just the events of Fate Zero. I'm not going to spoil what happens in it. And finally, we have the Grand Sugar Daddy that birthed everything we're talking about. The fifth Holy Grail War, aka the events of Fate's Day Night. Followed by Shiro fighting in it using the power of friendship and fucking, mana transfer. And this CD dragon still on my mind.
El poder del friendship of the fucking.
Using the power of friendship and fucking, mana transfer. And
Money transfer.
Still haunts my nightmares. What's important here is that this war has at least 3 different timelines, because the original Fate's Day Night was a visual novel with 3 different routes. You got the Fate route, Unlimited Blade Word, and Heaven's Field. Or, to put it more simply, you got the Saber route, the Best Girl route, and the Sakura route, with extra fucking, mana transfer.
Extra fucking. Me encanta este video. Es tan canon. Es tan real. Es tan al punto.
The Best Girl route and the Sakura route with extra fucking, mana transfer. But it doesn't stop there, because next we got Fate Hollow Anorexia, which is kind of like a sequel to Fate's Day Night because it takes place 6 months after the events that happened in there. So you may be wondering which one of the 3 routes it follows, and the answer is yes. So one of the main girls from Fate's Day
¿The tree? Sí, no, claro.
follows, and the answer is yeah.
Claro, es un loop, claro, es cualquiera. Tiene razón.
Yes. So one of the main girls from Fate's Day Night, Rin, is doing some magic experiments, and she does a little bit of an oopsie, and completely fucks up the space-time continuum, merging all parallel universes together. And I know what you're thinking, this doesn't sound like a little oopsie, this sounds a bit more like a big oopsie. But it's all good, because she looks great in Thigh Highs. So we're following this maid Rosette, who was dead off screen in the original Fate's Day Night, and she is now alive, along with Angry Mayu, aka the Angry Mango. And they're stuck in a Groundhog Day type time loop, living the same 4 days over and over, and she has to find a way to escape without fading from existence, because she was originally dead, and I guess people die if they don't exist. Since most of this takes place in the time loop, this is basically just Fate, Re-Zero Edition. So you can essentially
Re-Zero Edition.
Fate Zero. And you know what? That's basically everything for the flagship Fate series. We did it, guys! That was pretty simple, right, guys? What are we missing? But, of course, we... Hey guys, what are we missing? Fuck! Of course, we are going to have to fill this timeline in with all the other Fate media out there. So, let's do the time warp again. Oh my god. I don't fucking go that. Alright, so let's start with Fate Pop.
Espera, dame un respiro. Es que está buenísimo, está buenísimo. Está buenísimo este video. Ay, no sé si pueda, está muy bueno. Se me caen las lágrimas. Sigamos.
I don't fucking go that. Alright, so let's start with Fate Apocrypha. Fate Apocrypha timeline is exactly identical to the original timeline, except when we get to the Third Holy Grail War, where the timeline was like, you know what? Nazis.
The Nazis.
The fucking Nazis. So the Nazis join the Third Holy Grail War, and instead of there being a winner, the Nazis steal the Great Grail system, and so after that, a Transylvanian Nazi mage guy steals it from the Nazis again, and then I guess the Nazis go on to lose World War II as usual. Fast forward to the future, and somehow the entire world finds out about the Great Grail system, and everyone and their dog tries to make a cheap imitation of it. And so because of this, the Transylvanian Nazi sorcerer guy vows to make the Holy Grail War great again. And so he makes the Great Holy Grail War.
The Great.
I shit you not, this is what it's called. And so now instead of 7 servants, you have 14 servants separated into 2 teams, red and black. That's right, it's a team deathmatch. Team deathmatch. And so we get a season of red versus black, Mordred is hot, and the staff will make straight guys question their sexuality, and gay guys question their sexuality, and gay girls question their sexuality.
Ay, no puedo. a matar. Y la gente, mi viejo me dice, carajo, cállate, haz silencio. Me voy. No puedo, es demasiado. Es demasiado.
And so we get a season of Red vs. Black, Mordred is hot, and Astolfo makes straight guys question their sexuality and gay guys question their sexuality.
Gay guys question
their sexuality. And me question my life choices for spending $400 for a dick. That includes the events of Hitler's Day Night. Next on the menu, we have today's menu for Emia family. Did you see what I did there? This is, I think, just another alternate ending to the 5th Holy Grail War, where I guess nobody dies and they all just sit around cooking and playing volleyball.
Claro, esta sería la continuación de la Fate Route, ¿no? Claro, sí tiene sentido.
The 5th Holy Grail War, where I guess nobody dies and they all just sit around cooking and playing volleyball and being happy, and this is canon, okay? They never explain where this takes place on the timeline, but I don't care. They're all happy, Akasha made it, it's canon. Like in my mind, this is the reality when someone just tried playing the Fate visual novel, but got bored 5 minutes after reading words and then just left. And never came back. And then all these characters are just sitting around having a gay old time waiting for the Holy Grail War to start. This is what happened. This is the reality where C.VA tried to play Fate. Alright, so I'm just going to make a Fate Stay Night bubble, and then I'm going to put Fate Tiger Coliseum and Fake Unlimited codes in this bubble, because they're just fighting games and they're already beating the shit out of each other in the series anyway, so I guess these are just the filler episodes we never got to see. Then we got Fate School Live.
Son los episodios que nunca deberemos ver.
Filler episodes we never got to see. Then we got Fate School Live, which is kind of like a slice.
Espérate, ¿había esa mierda? Ah, no, sí, son los mangas. Sí, son los mangas. Y así sí lo recuerdo,
Like spin-off from the Fate Stay Night universe that also has Ataraxia characters in it. So I guess it goes here. Can you tell how I'm sure I am right now? Lord Elmaloy's Case Files. This is basically just CSI magic that takes place after Fate Zero but before Fate Stay Night, starring Fate Zero's Waver. Except Waver's gone from Daddy Step on Me to oh. Step on Me, Daddy.
Ahora es del Daddy. Oh, no.
Death on me, daddy. Alright. Now
Muchachos, creo que nos estamos metiendo en un pequeño gran problema con esto. No lo sé, digo, ustedes saben. Me dicen lolicom, no soy lolicom, me van a hacer clip. Tengo miedo. Tengo mucho miedo. Here we go.
Oh. Death on me, daddy. Alright, now we get into the manly shit. Fate DJ Khaled, line of Prisma Ilya, is a spin-off where Ilya becomes a magical girl.
Espera, ¿alguien activó el volumen? No, así. Ah, yo pensé que era del video.
DJ Khaled, line of Prisma Ilya, is a spin-off where Ilya becomes a magical girl. And instead of summoning servants, the magical girls can use these magical cards to channel the power of a servant. And also there's a magical dorky wife, don't worry about it. Before I properly got into the Fate franchise, I thought this was just an unrelated spin-off that had nothing to do with the main universe, but no! Not only does this directly diverge from the main timeline, but it has 2 separate universes within its own universe. It's a fucking Ilya multiverse! And the beginning of the Ilya multiverse doesn't even have Ilya in it! Oh god, I love you so much, Fate, but you just don't make things...
Es cierto. Existe un Ilya multiverso, pero no tenemos la ruta de Ilya. ¿Puedo pedir la ruta de Ilya ahora sí? ¿Canónicamente? ¿Canon es canon? No Lolicom, es por canon. Sí, por canon, no por Lolicom, porque Gigguk lo dice. Sí, no.
Multiverse, and the beginning of the Ilya multiverse doesn't even have Ilya in it! Oh god, I love you so much, Fate, but you just don't make things easy, do you? Alright, I'm gonna try and do my best, so stick with me here. The first universe is the one detailed in the movie Oath Under Snow, following this girl called Miyu, which is why we call this the Miyuverse, because her name is Miyu and she's the child of God, don't worry about it. She's taken in by Shiro, then they have another Holy Grail War, not the usual Holy Grail War, but the Einsworth Holy Grail War. Can you guess why it's called the Einsworth Holy Grail War? because it was made by the Einsworth. Shiro then sends Miyu to an alternate universe, which we call the Iliaverse, which is all sunshine and rainbows, where the fourth Holy Grail War didn't
Claro, son
happen
dos universos, pues,
for
¿no?
the year.
Claro, son dos multiversos. Es el multiverso de Ilia y el multiverso de Miyu.
Cute girls doing cute things, cute girls doing magical things, and cute girls doing each other.
Oh no.
This is the universe where season 1 and 2 of Prisma Ilia happens, but then you have season 3, which jumps back into the Miyuverse. And if you think that complicates the timeline, how about this little knowledge of nuggets? So, in the original Fate Stay Night, Ilia is 18. She's 18. She's older than Shiro, but...
Oh no. Oh no, muchachos. Sí, ok. Lo único que agradezco con toda mi vida es que no está ni Aya ni Andraxus. Es lo único que agradezco con toda mi alma.
She's 18. She's older than Shiro, but in the Iliaverse, she's the same age as when the timelines diverge, which theoretically should make her the same age as she was in Fate Stay Night.
Espérate.
But she's not.
Espérate, ¿what? Espérate, ¿me está diciendo que la Ilia de Kalei Liner también tiene 18?
She's older than Shiro,
¿Nani?
but in the Iliaverse, she's the same age as when the timelines diverge, which theoretically should make her the same age as she was in Fate Stay Night. But she's not. And the series makes it very clear that she is under 18. So which is it, Fate? Which is it? I need to know. You know, I would say don't worry about it. But I'm pretty sure the FBI...
¿Por qué siento como si estuviera viéndome ahí intentando explicarle a la gente que no soy lolicón, pero tengo que hacer un video de Haseo, no es lolicón en Anufles. No, mejor no. Mala idea.
The same age as she was in Fate Stay Night. But she's not. And the series makes it very clear that she is under 18. So which is it, Fate? Which is it? I need to know. You know, I would say don't worry about it. But I'm pretty sure the FBI are going to do that for me. Alright, moving the fuck on from this mess of a legal situation.
Illegal
Your
situation.
Fate, also known as the Fate Extra universe. This splits off from the Third Holy Grail War in the Angry Mango timeline, where all the world's mana dries up because some kind of event. So in the 2030s, all the mages turn into hackers and they try to hack the moon because the moon has a supercomputer on it that was placed there by aliens that they found. And so inside the supercomputer moon, there exists this entire digital world. And so the supercomputer moon is hosting a virtual reality Holy Grail war because it's actually alive. I don't realize how ridiculous this sounds until I read it out loud. Don't worry about it! Yeah, it turns out the moon knows shit and you can hack the moon, and it also has Rin, Sakura, and Kiro from the original.
Espera, ¿puedes hacer el ricolino en el Mooncell? Chale.
Shit, and you can hack the moon, and it also has Rin, Sakura, and Kiro from the original Fate Stay Night, but not the original Rin, Sakura, and Kiro from the original Fate Stay Night. What are you, stupid? They're just characters who look, sound, and dress exactly the same, but they're different. Are you worrying about it? Because I'm not. So you got the Fate Extra games, the Fate Extra Triple C games, and then you got the anime. Fate Extra Last Encore in its own separate timeline that takes place in the year 3000. And Ren's great granddaughter. Just fucking Ren. Fate Grand Order.
Oh no.
Oh god, you're not
Oh
gonna
no, oh no.
Just fucking Ren. Fate Grand
Gran Order. Here we go, muchachos, here we go. Hemos llegado al infierno. ¿Saben cuál es lo más divertido de todo esto? Que prácticamente me he visto todas las pinches series que se han nombrado el Gigguk, excepto por Fate Extra y CCC. Pero de ahí me he comido toda esa mierda. La- ¿Qué hago con mi vida? ¿A dónde quiero llegar? ¿Qué soy? Bueno, sigamos.
Oh god, you're not gonna make me break down fake grand order. Alright, now we're truly in hell. So Fate Go is a mobile gacha game among some anime adaptations where the first Holy Grail war never happened, the world is fucked for some reason, and you have got to travel back in time to various points in history to fix the fucking timeline. And every different timeline you fix is called singularities. Basically, imagine Fate Back to the Future, except there are like 7 sequels, all with different diverging timelines, and you're not trying to fuck your mum, you're just trying to fuck all the servants. Alright, so for simplicity's sake, I think it would just be easier if I just draw out the Fate Go timeline. And here in its own corner, it's just Fate Prototype, which is Kinoko Nasu's original concept for Fate, where King Arthur's actually a guy? Get out of here with your damn historical inaccuracies. So essentially, this is just a non-existent project because the only thing that exists is a 12-minute trailer that was made purely for fan service. Which is even more bizarre when you consider Fate Prototype Fragments of Sky Silver, which is the prequel to Fate Prototype.
What?
They made a prequel.
What?
Which is the prequel to Fate Prototype. They made a prequel, a full light novel prequel to a 12-minute commercial. Like, did I really think Fate fans are that hungry for content? A Type Moon just sitting there being like, alright Fate fans, open wide. Oh, content, give me anything. And then this prequel to a project that basically doesn't even exist has a side story called Fate Labyrinth. A side story! This is why Tsukehime fans were on suicide watch. You can tell that line was written months ago because, yeah, where the fuck did this come from? And all this would be a complete... Yeah, where the fuck did this come from? And all this would be a completely alternate universe.
¿Y de dónde viene Tsukehime?
Yeah, where the fuck did this come from? And all this would be a completely alternate universe with no connection to the original universe, but I shit you not, one of the characters has a dream that connects this universe to the Fate Stay Night universe. It's literally canon, my dream. Alright, I think we're getting close to the end. Next is Fate Strange Fake. This is a light novel series that takes place after the 5th Holy Grail War in America, where they do their own Holy Grail War with hookers and blackjack, written by the same guy who did Bakano. As of recording, we don't know if this follows on from the main flagship title, written by the same guy who did Bakano.
Espérate, ¿está siendo escrito por el mismo que escribió Bacano y Durarara? No manches, güey, ahora sí. No entiendo por qué es tan bueno.
As of recording, we don't know if this follows on from the main flagship timeline or is part of an alternate universe, but what we do know is that there's a servant called Watcher, and it's literally just a fucking whale in the
Watcher.
sky.
Andra.
I'm sorry, I must have missed the legend where a fucking flying whale saves Earth. Does Free Willy count as a legendary hero of history now? There's Fate Type Redline. It's Tokyo in the 1940s. Nazis are at it again, but this time so are the Japanese military. It's the third Grail War with seemingly no other connections to any of the Grails, and it's a manga drawn by the Demon Slayer mangaka. We got Fate Requiem. Not a lot about this is known right now because it's not been officially translated, but what we do know is that it's set in the future after some kind of Holy Grail War, and somehow everyone has their own Holy Grail. And also there's this new servant called Voyager, who I guess is the Voyager space probe, except I have no fucking clue how a space probe becomes a servant, let alone a blonde Shota boy, let alone a blonde Shota boy space probe servant, and don't tell me to worry about it, because I'm not. Can you see how much I'm not worrying about it? I am not worrying about it. But seriously, how the fuck? And finally, in a bubble within its own fucking dimension, is Carnival Phantasm, where all the Fate characters and other characters from Nasu's other works are just hanging out, I guess. Doesn't make any sense, I have no idea where this fits in the timeline. Are just hanging out, I guess. Doesn't make any sense, I have no idea where this fits in the timeline. I think this is just a bubble reality where Akasha...
Bubble reality.
And that's it!
De Akasha.
I think this is just a bubble reality where Akasha got fucking drunk. And that's it!
Espérate.
I think this is just a bubble reality where Akasha got fucking drunk.
¿Estás diciendo que Carnival Phantasm es una realidad cuando el fucking de Akasha estuvo drogado? Interesante.
And that's it! That is the long version.
That is the long version.
Oh, Gigguk, what about the rest of the Nazi verse? You gonna do that as well? How about no? Originally, this was meant to be a grand video where it talks about all the funny and ridiculous things I found out about Fate lore as a whole. But when I started it, I kind of realized I'm gonna need 20 minutes just to explain the fucking timeline. So you know what? This may just...
Solamente ha explicado el timeline. Solamente ha explicado el fucking timeline de Fate. Solamente eso. Y necesitó 3 meses.
Fucking timeline. So you know what? This may just be the first part in a multi-series lecture from hell. Because the worst thing about Fate is that after going through all the timelines, after connecting all the lore, after spending far too many hours consuming Fate media and reading pages upon pages of wiki articles, it kind of makes sense. Oh god, this chart actually makes sense. It kind of makes reading pages.
Después de leer página tras página, después de horas de consumir media, después de miles de juegos interesantes,
it kind of makes sense.
Empieza a tener sentido. Ese es el momento en que de verdad entras en la locura total y absoluta. Cuando le encuentras un sentido al Nasuverso. Ya perdimos a Gigguk.
Oh god, this chart actually makes sense to me. The entire timeline is actually the simplest part of Fate lore. Fate is just an all-encompassing whole that just gets darker and gloomier the deeper you go down. People wonder what's at the bottom of the abyss in Made in Abyss. It's just the fucking entrance to the Fate hole. You want the real short version Fate newcomers? You watch either of these two, and then watch this, and then watch whatever the fuck you want. Or you know what? Fuck all this. Start with the spin-off series. Start with lesbian lollies kissing. Start with Fate MasterChef. Fuck. Start with the Dojinshis for all I care. Just ignore all the shitstorm going on in the comment section right now. The reality is, it doesn't really matter where you start. As long as it looks interesting to you, then go for it. The problem is there's so many people who are obsessed with optimizing the perfect read and watch order.
Eso es cierto, o sea, la franquicia de Fate es divertida como tal, no importa por dónde empieces, siempre y cuando te divierta, pero hay gente obsesionada con el perfeccionismo que si le dices una pequeña cosa, no te gusta Sakura, que la película de Heaven fue una mierda, que no te gusta Camelot, Dios, se ponen como si le hubieras insultado a su mamá. Sí lo entiendo.
That they forget that if you enjoy the experience,
si le insultas a Gilgamesh, cough.
And it gets you into Fate, then who the fuck cares what order you watch it in? Because look, memes aside, the Fate lore may be a convoluted mess to unravel, but it is an awesome franchise. It's a series that can have amazing fights with balls-to-the-walls action and magical moments that cut deep into your heart. And then Thomas Edison shows up as a lion. Because if you've reached the end of this video knowing nothing about Fate, and this is the video that's convinced you to give it a try, what the fuck is wrong with you? This got you interested in Fate? Oh god, why didn't you just listen to me the first time and go with the short version? You know what? Fuck this. I'm done. I'm not doing Fate anymore. I'm literally gonna go crazy. You know what? I lied. This isn't even the long version.
Dices, todavía esta no es la long version. Técnicamente no, esta no es la long version, esta es the medium version.
Hey guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video. Thank you again to Honkai Impact for sponsoring me today, and also thank you very much to iVito.
Ese señor se merece, señores, un likeazo. O sea, no sé ustedes, pero merece un like de las 110 personas que estamos acá. Si les ha gustado claramente el video, suscríbanse, es bastante chévere.
Hatchet, Eleful, Basil, and everyone else, my Patreon, for supporting me for this month, but especially Garrett and Lucas for being my Fate gurus and guiding me through this hell that is the Fate hole. Honestly, I couldn't have done it without you two, so thank you very much for being my gurus, and thank you very much for helping me do the research for all the information I put in here. And also thank you very much to everyone on my Patreon Discord server for fact-checking this video before it went live. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if anything in this video is inaccurate or wrong, you can blame an entire Discord server for it. Something's still probably wrong though. And if you want to join the monthly calls where literally someone mentions fate every fucking month, which is how this video got started in the first place, check out my Patreon. Or don't.
Or don't.
I don't need any more people talking about fate. But yeah, this video has been in production for way too long, mostly because the groundwork was done last year, and I really hope you enjoy the style of this video because it took a lot of work, and I don't know if you could tell, but I had a really, really fun time filming this video. Me and my editor have been putting off working on this video for so long.
Claro, es que voy a tener que empezar a contratar. Si quiero hacer videos así tan buenos, la verdad que sí necesitan sí se necesita más gente.
Really looking forward to working on another video like this. Right, Alan? Such a joker. Anyway, that's it from me. No further updates. I've been Gigguk, and I hope you enjoy the hell we're about to walk into. Because I'm not.